So right now we're gonna go conduct surveys and hopefully raise awareness about Prop 35. Okay, so how many people do you think in the United States are sex trafficked a year? Hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, or 100,000s?
Thousands.
Thousands? Okay. Give options.
I'm supposed to know that?
No.
Okay.
So we have age ranges, so
Okay.
hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, or 100,000s.
Say thousands. Maybe. What was the third one?
10,000s.
Maybe 10,000s. Oh, I think thousands.
What percentage of sex traffic victims in the United States are Asian? 10%, 25%, 50%, or 65%?
I would say maybe 65%.
25.
Okay.
25. I would say on the middle.
50%?
So 50?
50%.
Okay. Have you ever heard of Prop 35?
No. No.
No.
I have not.
Okay. Have you ever talked about this topic with your friends and family?
Not really.
No, not really.
Okay. So you said that you've heard about it, but you don't really talk about the topic.
No.
So a little bit background about me. In 2005, I was serving on the County Commission on Status of Women, and also at the same time I started working for State Assemblywoman Sally Lieber. It just the issue of human trafficking emerged. Came out of, there were several raids in Mountain View, Santa Clara, regarding like massage parlors and having women from like Korea and other Asian countries working at the front in terms of massage parlor, but then they were being utilized for sex and other labor servitude. So Assembly Women, both Santa Clara and Mountain View was in her district, so she took on the issue. And at the time she introduced Assembly Bill 22, which gave more teeth to the human trafficking laws that already exist at the federal level, but we didn't have anything at the state level that allowed local law enforcement to address the issue of trafficking. And so we worked with, at that time, District Attorney Carmela Harris throughout the state to get support for the bill. So mainly the bill had two basic, what we call them, objective. One was to make sure that victims of trafficking receive restitution. So allowing, having traffickers be held accountable for their action. Secondly, to provide law enforcement with greater penal code to make sure that they can enforce and prosecute traffickers. So that's huge in the state where the state, normally it was federal, and then, when you come across as a local law enforcement, you had to handle the case over to the U.S. District Attorney or so forth to address the issue. But with the passing of AB 22, local and law enforcement now can prosecute and work with district attorneys locally to do that. So that's I think, set the stage for everything else that's come since then, since the law went in fact 2006, January 1st, 2006. And since then, there has been several bills in different ways in terms of human trafficking. For example, working with property management owners not to hold people, to hold trafficker accountable if they somehow on their property using folks for trafficking, to looking at, holding corporations and companies accountable for labor trafficking. So it's been really amazing, and I think Prop 35 is a culmination of all the bills that come before, and in particular, looking at resource to serve to provide comprehensive services to victims. I have to say, AB 22, while it's at the beginning, it was not like the full solution. So one of the things that victims didn't have, there weren't any funding for agencies to provide services to victims. I mean, domestic violence organization had to go beyond their reach and resources to help people in the shelter, to shelter them, to provide them counseling, mental health, dealing with their trauma without any resources from the state. So Prop 35 is like, I really hope that it would pass.
Assemblymember Paul Fong.
Can you speak briefly about what you know about the issue of sex trafficking and how you have been involved in the past and currently?
I introduced a bill on human trafficking and sex trafficking when I first got into the state legislature, but someone else had a bill too, Sandra Swanson, and Sandra Swanson's bill continued on. And Sandra is working with Fiona Ma, and I have been too, working with Fiona Ma on this issue. Actually, Fiona gave me the bill to carry in the beginning when I first got on, so I know about human trafficking through that regard. My bill actually was going to have the property seized from those who were arrested for human trafficking. Seized like drug traffickers would have the property seized, or human traffickers would have their property seized as well. But that didn't go very far, and that was it was replaced with Prop 35 actually. And Prop 35 is a more comprehensive approach to prosecuting those who participate in the sex trade and human trafficking, because it's a very major epidemic. It's happening all over the place, and we need to punish those who are doing it, and we need to make it a serious crime. And this will make it a more serious crime, and this will punish them, and it'll provide for a fund, a victims fund, just to help out the victims as well. And so I totally support Prop 35 in that regard. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.